Hi everyone, welcome to Holy Ambitions. I'm Micah, and today I'm going to talk about seeing the good in your life. Our lives are filled up with moments, both good and bad, plans that go accordingly, and plans that don't quite pan out the way that we had hoped. Unplanned events that pop up, and we just do our best to make sure that they go as well as possible. But even with so much good that happens throughout our day, a lot of times we tend to focus on the negative aspects of the day. And I know that this is something that I personally struggle with from time to time, where if something bad happens or someone said something to me that really hurt me, or maybe I said something that I didn't mean to say to someone else, those are the things that can really keep me up at night, and I'm just laying in bed and it's eating away at me, and it's all that I can think about. And it doesn't matter how much good happened before that or even after that. That is what my mind tends to draw on. So much of this is because we live in a world filled with negativity. Sometimes it's the people in our lives, at work, a random person that we don't even know, saying something, doing something, road rage, or even in our own homes. It's in the media we consume, and worst of all, it's in our own minds. And when we focus on the negative, life can begin feeling like a never-ending cycle, leaving us feeling unfulfilled and yearning for something more. And this is a dangerous thing to happen, because this is when we can stop seeking God and we begin seeking worldly things that we feel will make our life better. How often have we told ourselves, once I make more money, then my life will be good. Once I get that new job, then my life will be good. Once I get that new relationship, I'll finally have someone to make me happy. And then my life will be good. When we view our lives through the lens of the world, things like attention, status, money, possessions, all of these things are fleeting, and they could be gone in an instant. They mean nothing. It doesn't mean that they're not nice to have, but they don't define a good life. And what if we instead could view things through the lens of God? If we could see things how God sees things. And this is where I really feel that we can begin to create a better life for ourselves. And I want to draw from Genesis 1, because I really do feel like it paints a beautiful picture of how we can begin to see the good in our lives using God as an example. And it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep." And I want to pause there for a second, because how often have our lives felt like that? Without form and void, where we feel we're not quite where we want to be or where we expected to be. We don't know where we're going in life. We don't know where God is leading us. And we can begin to feel a little lost sometimes. But it continues, and it says something that I think is really beautiful. It says, "And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters." The Spirit of God is always there with us. He's always right above us, watching over us. We don't have to seek far to find Him. He's there, waiting for us, watching over us, gracing us. Then verse 3 and 4 say, "And God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light. And God saw that the light was good." And that's going to be a common theme we're going to see going forward as we move through Genesis, that God takes time to see something that is good. And on the third day, God created the land and the sea, all the vegetation, the seeded plants, and the tree-bearing fruit, and He saw that it was good. On the fourth day, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars, and He saw that it was good. On the fifth day, God created the sea creatures and the birds, and he saw that it was good. On the sixth day, God created all the land animals, and most of all, man and woman. And what I find most beautiful isn't that God had created man and woman, which is what allowed us to be here. It's that when he looked at the culmination of all his work, it says in Genesis 31, and God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. It's mentioned 6 times that God looks at his creations and sees that they are good. And it's in that final time when he looks at everything, the culmination of his work, and he sees that it is very good. And what I find really interesting is that throughout the creation, after God creates something and before the day ends, he looks at what he created and he sees that it is good. So how can we begin to see the good in our life? Just like God. We look at it one day at a time. We take the time to reflect on our day and look at the good things that have happened to us, the good things that we have done, the greatness that God has bestowed in our life, the grace that he has given us throughout the day. And I believe that if we can take that time to just look at all the little small things that are good in our day, then we too can see the culmination of the good in our life and see that we do, in fact, have a good life. We have a life better than we probably believe. We have a life better than we're able to perceive, than we're able to see for ourselves. And for me, one way that I try to see the good in my life is in my nightly prayer life. When I pray to God, I think about all those good things and I pray to him and I thank him for those moments. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant or huge. If you have something like that that's happened for you in your day, then that's amazing. And you should definitely thank God for that. But also thank him for the little things. It can be small, something like making it to work on time when there was traffic, or maybe you saw and spoke to someone that you haven't seen or spoken to in a while. Maybe you've been depressed for the last 3 days and you can't even get out of your bed, and today you found the strength to take a shower. It's those things that we should also appreciate and thank God for. And if you do get more money, or you do get that new job, or you find yourself in a new relationship, thank God for that too. But if you're feeling empty and you're hoping that those are the things that are going to make your life better, then there's more work to do. There's more work to do. So again, those things are nice to have. And I hope that all of you will have those things in life. But don't expect them to be the answer for everything. We just need to take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Recognize the good that's happening now. You don't have to wait for something good to happen for you in the future, because it's happening now. It's happening today. And thank God for that. That is the grace of God. That is the goodness of God in our lives. And I want to leave you with a couple more verses from Psalm 118, verse 23 and 24. It says, "This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." And I love this because it says, "This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes." It shows that they are opening their eyes to what the Lord is doing, the goodness that he is giving us. And then the way it goes on to say, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." Yes, let us rejoice and be glad in this day. Your life is a good life. Your life is precious. And I want you to see the goodness that is in your life. And so I ask you, are you opening your eyes to the goodness of God, to the grace that He is giving us, to the goodness that's in our life on a daily basis? Or are you just waiting for some worldly thing to come in and make your life good for you? And so with that, I want to thank you for watching, thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time.